such a beautiful, mild day that we had together, and when the sun is in the sky, we feel the goodness in the world and God's presence all around us. And so we begin our service this morning, or this evening. It could be the morning. It will be soon. On page 213 as we sing together.
Consecrated, may your brilliance never fade from the magnificent world you made. May your ways prevail in our own days, in our own lives, and in the life of all Israel. We sing, let us say amen together. And let us say, and let us say, Amen. One more time. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen. Two more times now. And let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. It's warm out today. It was warm, right? It was 36 degrees. It's not warm. You people are insane. But it's nice to be here with all of you in this full, warm space together. And to start our beautiful service off tonight, we are celebrating a simcha as Claire Stern lights our candles in honor of her 90th birthday. But I'm adding that she is also the proud grandmother of one of our bar mitzvah boys this weekend. So she's got a double simcha. We're going to welcome her up as we turn to page 14 for our candle lighting.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Amen.
We continue with Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור 34, 34. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaser b'machshava tchila lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
We have people here in this congregation this evening for so many different reasons. We have a couple from North Carolina here going through adoption, and they're here in Detroit to meet their child for the very first time. We have a family celebrating a bar mitzvah this weekend. I won't mention the name. We have people here looking for healing, looking for companionship, looking for a connection to the Holy One of Blessing. And so I thought we would begin with this reading on page 30, which really celebrates all the very different reasons here that people come to pray with us. We are young, our experience is few. We are older, veterans of life's teachings. We are married, we are single, we are Jews of many varied traditions. Having traveled many different roads, our separate journeys have led us all to this sacred place in our lives. We continue now on page 42.
Yitgadol v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Amen. V'alma divrach irteh v'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei lechol Beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala Uvizman Karib V'meru Amen Yehesh me Rabba mevorach Me'alam ulad me'alma haya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu leila mikol b'chata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'yimeru Amen.
We continue on page 45 at the top of the page together. If fear is like a rock, then let me be a hammer. If sorrow is a fire, then let me be the sea. When challenges arise, may my heart increase in strength, like the moon that shines brighter when the darkness falls. Baruch atah Adonai ha'ma'ariv aravim. Blessed are you who makes the evening fall. And on page 49 responsively. We are loved by an unending love. We are guided by the still, small voice within us. We are loved by an unending love. A ner tamid to be tended from generation to generation. And a gentle love. Giving meaning to our existence, structure to our lives. And of all the generations who have embraced their covenant.
כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נהגי יומם ולילה באהבתך אל תסתיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Please be seated. We continue on page 57. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So this morning, coincidentally on International Women's Day, 150 women headed out before 7 a.m. to the Western Wall in Jerusalem to celebrate Rosh Chodesh by praying together, being together, and reading from the Torah. They were met by over 10,000 protesters who screamed at them, who spit on them, hurling insults, rocks, and threats as they tried to pray. So these brave women Members and supporters of Women of the Wall marked the 30th anniversary of the organization this week, and their mission is to provide the right for women to wear talitot, to pray, and to read Torah at the Kotel. So next week, right here on this bima, we will welcome Anat Hoffman, founder of the Women of the Wall, executive director of the Israel Religious Action Center, and she will share her story, and she will include us in her fight for equal rights, both for women and for Reform Jews in Israel. And so, as we join together in the Micha Mocha tonight, a prayer celebrating our redemption from slavery and oppression, we recognize there's still a lot of work left to do, and we are going to be a part of it. We join together on page 62, the words of Micha Mocha.
מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה. זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 יא לי לי לי, יא לי 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 לי, יא לי 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 יא לי 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 לי. אדוני את יעקב, וכי הלא מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
So I have a much happier story to tell. This morning I was at a service, and it wasn't at the wall where all those terrible things were going on, but it was at Hillel Day School, where the fourth graders were leading a service in part of the Torah service on Rosh Chodesh. It was a wonderful moment, and the nicest part was, and I don't think many of you are perhaps aware, the Temple Israel is now the largest feeder of youngsters to Hillel Day School. So that's a real change from when I sent my daughters many, many years ago. Of course, I'm providing 6 grandchildren, so it's not a bad number. So on this Shabbat, don't think about the terrible moment on the Women of the Wall. Think about 60 kids in the 4th grade leading a service. And they're not going to come next week, but maybe I'll bring them the next week. So, we'll give you something to really look forward to. But Shamru on page 65, Shabbat Shalom.
שמרו בני ישראל את השבת, ושמרו לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם. ושמרו Shabbat v'shameru la'asod et ha-Shabbat
Seated, we pray silently.
soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Create a pure heart within me, that my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit, and I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness, and I will teach your love to the lonely, and the lost will find their way home. Create a pure heart within me, and let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit, and I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness, and I will teach your love to the lonely, and the lost will find their way home. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. Oh, Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth will declare your Very often when we were working with the ability to see the live streaming, Marla's parents were the ones who would every Friday night report to us the live streaming is good, the live streaming is bad. Not bad in person, is it? Today, we turn now to the Misha Berach, an opportunity for all of us to think about someone in our life, a member of our family in need of a special prayer. And as we bring their names into our minds, we extend that to all in our community who are in need of a special prayer of healing as we sing together on page 72. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach imotenu Mekor HaBracha bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
So far in the service, everybody's come up with a story to tell. I thought I'd begin my sermon then with a story. Maybe a story you've heard before about the Baal Shem Tov who used to travel from town to town with his assistant, the person who took care of his horses, his horsemen. Every place he went, the horseman would listen from the back of the room and heard the answers that were asked over and over and over from community to community to community. So one day in between towns, the Baal Shem Tov, the great rabbi, and his horsemen decided that they were bored of their jobs. They traded places. The horseman dressed up like the rabbi dressed up like the horseman, and they went into the next town, the next congregation. The questions came, the horseman answered all the questions. He knew everything that the Baal Shem Tov would answer for every question that could be asked. And at the end of the night, one particular person in the back of the room raised their hand and asked a very, very difficult question. And so the horseman, who was dressed up as the Baal Shem Tov, simply said, "That question is so easy, I'm going to let my horseman answer it." My horseman's sitting right over there. Would you come up here and do the sermon tonight? See, I mean, you know exactly what to do. All right. Sometimes things actually aren't as they seem. The person in front of the room may not be the person you think they are. Take this week's Torah portion as an example. At first glance, we read just a simple spiritual recounting of the building of the ancient tabernacle. Beginning with a description of the gifts brought for the Mishkan, the text moves to describe the garments worn by the priests, their breastplates, the robes, other formal attire. The parasha depicts the exact moment when Moses completes the construction of the tabernacle. He anoints the vessels in a ceremony of dedication, and as a result of all of that effort, the Torah explains that when Moses finished that task, a cloud of the divine presence filled the entire tabernacle. That cloud also served as our ancestors' guide through their desert journey. When the cloud lifted, the people would travel from place to place. When the cloud descended again and rested on the camp, they would rest as well. All of it seems straightforward and clear. Our ancestors built the tabernacle. God dwells among us. What is not explicitly said, however, also matters. What would have happened if Moses had not followed God's instructions about the Mishkan? What if there had been a mistake in the order of presentation in that dedication ceremony? What if the materials of the Mishkan were not perfectly correct according to the prescriptions that God gave our ancestors? According to the Kabbalists, the mystics of our Jewish tradition, that is hinting to us about a secret message that we are to understand. You see, before that divine cloud appeared, something else was lurking, an adversary of sorts. In Jewish tradition, the adversary to God is named Hasatan, or Satan, waiting to take ownership of the ancient Israelite community, to have priority over God in the world. So only, according to the Kabbalists, by meticulously following God's instructions, did we, our ancestors, avert catastrophe and allow that Ruach Elohim, the Spirit of God, to dwell among us. Doing the right thing at the right time, in the right order, really matters according to Jewish tradition. So in reading the text, and studying that mystical approach this particular week, I came to understand that hidden meaning in a new way. For the past several years, it has been difficult for our rabbis and cantors to talk about politics from the bima. We worry about offending our members by saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, or taking sides in a politically volatile issue. But sometimes, I fear, by ignoring the issues completely, we have allowed a potential adversary Hasatan to gain a grip, potentially opening the door to some significant challenges. Tonight is one of those times, and I am speaking of insidious anti-Semitism. As you certainly know by now, Representative Ilhan Omar, a Democratic congresswoman from Minnesota, is the first female Muslim to wear a hijab and to be elected to a position of national leadership in our Congress. While part of an exciting and vibrant freshman class of legislators in Washington, D.C., her presence and her statements thus far have been nothing short of polarizing. Leading up to this week, she has been criticized for her blatantly anti-Semitic language, at times echoing age-old anti-Jewish tropes. Her defense and the support she has received from others is centered on the idea that she's not anti-Semitic, but rather speaking out against Israel. Some claim that she is actually the victim, with Islamophobia the aggressor. Separating Zionism from Judaism, she's attempted to make her comments palatable to the untrained ear. She and her supporters claim that she's not anti-Jewish, just speaking her mind about the Israeli government, something I believe she is welcome to do as an American. Yes, I have actually often argued the same. It is acceptable to be critical of Israeli policy or to comment as an outsider about the government of Israel. I have done it many times from this bima while standing steadfast in my support of the Zionist dream of a sovereign state in Israel. But this is where the similarities end, and the quiet and devastating secret agenda, hidden meaning, begins. You see, this week, legislators on Capitol Hill have worked to create a resolution that was originally intended to combat anti-Semitism, but was watered down and voted on today to include all kinds of hate speech. Now, on the surface, it might seem like an excellent response. Who wouldn't support a legislation, a resolution opposed to hatred? But on a deeper level, it ignores the fact that Ilhan Omar has presented herself an anti-Semite, as suggested by a serious evaluation of her comments. The debate over the resolution conflates her blatant disdain for Jews with her position as a persecuted Muslim, critical of Israel's policies. And this isn't everything. In the Senate, the presidential hopefuls, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, they've all weighed in with statements that paint Omar as the victim, which she is today if you've read some of the attacks on her character, without mentioning that she is also a purveyor of anti-Semitic bigotry, which she surely is as well. This week, the author and writer Bret Stephens correctly summarized the situation in a well-written opinion piece in the New York Times explaining the following. For those who don't get it, claims that Israel hypnotizes the world, or that it uses money to bend others to its will, or that its American supporters push for allegiance to a foreign country, repackages falsehoods commonly used against us Jews for centuries. People can debate the case for Israel on its merits, but those who support the state should not have to face allegations that their sympathies have been purchased, or their brains hijacked, or their loyalties divided. Let me be clear. I am not suggesting that Ilhan Omar does not have the right to oppose Israel or her policies. We are a country of open political debate. It is the foundation of our democracy. But I cannot let a day go on without clearly proving that her comments are not political, but motivated in bigotry and anti-Jewish sentiment. Specifically, 3 of her statements cross the line. The words for which she is being criticized are not about Israel. They are about hating Jews. Conservative commentator Ben Shapiro explains it well in his recent podcast. He details her recent announcements and clearly demonstrates their intent. First, Omar tweeted a few years ago that Israel continuously hypnotizes the world. It's not a criticism of the Israeli government or political policy. Rather, it is a suggestion that we, the nefarious Jews in the Jewish state, are using our magical Jewish powers to ensure that Israel has support across the world. To understand it any differently is to ignore the real message behind her language. But if that's not enough proof, look at her next statement, that American support for Israel is, quote, all about the Benjamins, referring to the money being donated in support of changed attitudes in our Congress. This, too, is offensive, suggesting that our Jewish American money is somehow behind American support for Israel. That comment, too, is not about Israel, but a comment about us, American Jews. It ignores the vast lobbying culture across the spectrum in Washington politics. The idea that American support for Israel is because of Jewish money alone, that is anti-Semitic, not a critique of Israel in any way. And finally, for me, the straw that broke the camel's back in recent days, as Omar suggested that supporters of Israel must have dual loyalties to Israel. Now that is a bigoted concept that is a canard used against Jews even before the state of Israel existed. That we are a group of people who are somehow externally loyal to our country, but secretly faithful only to one another in an internal cabal. That hateful statement about Jews predates 1948, reappearing over and over and over again throughout our history, dating all the way back to the Torah and the subjugation of Jews by Pharaoh, who said the Jews talk too much together. Which brings me back to my Torah portion. To see only the surface of today's growing anti-Semitism is to discount the deeper meaning of Omar's words. To water down the rebuke of her comments for the sake of political gain is even more dangerous. It is time to stand up, Democrats and Republicans, to demand that our politicians are held to a higher standard. Criticize government, that's okay. Criticize our own governments, other governments, that is politics. To foment hate and to encourage bigotry, that is a hidden message that cannot be ignored. We must demand that our leaders respond quickly and with strength. We are taught to recite specific words as we end a book of the Torah on a Shabbat. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. May we be strong as we use our Jewish traditions to strengthen our community, to change the world for the better, and to prove that hate is never welcome in our country. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this tonight be God's will. Amen.
Have come from near and far to raise our voice in song. And the more we join in the refrain, the more we feel strong. Chazak, chazak, v'nitchazek. There's power in this place and time. It shapes the rest of our lives.
return each year we find a truth we can't deny. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Kaza, kaza, benit kaze. Kaza, kaza, benit kaze. As we sing, we link ourselves to those who came before. And we're one with all those yet to come. Our strength, it will endure. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Kaza, kaza. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Kaza, kaza. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Kaza, kaza. Be strong, be strong. Kaza, kaza, benit kaze. Kaza, kaza, benit kaze.
We now turn to the announcements of our congregation and invite Bryant Frank, a member of our executive committee, to come forward and share with us the goings-on here at Temple Israel.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay, strap in. Join Brotherhood and B'nai B'rith Great Lakes region the evening of Sunday, March 10th for the annual Shushan Hold'em Purim tournament and raffle. This Monday, for our Ask, that's ASK, Adults Seeking Knowledge series, Rabbi Alana Elpert will present a Jewish perspective on water justice as it relates to clean and affordable drinking water. Admission includes lunch. Walk-ins are welcome. On Wednesday, March 13th, Peter Ostro from the Alzheimer's Association is holding a workshop for those dealing with dementia of a loved one. Learn how to respond to dementia-related behaviors and when to seek medical support. Reserve your spot for this Thursday's dinner and a movie featuring the award-winning film Cabaret. The group showing begins at 5, followed by dinner and discussion. Reservations are required by this Monday. Sunday, March 17th, begins our week of Purim festivities. Brotherhood's blood drive starts at 9 a.m. Yifty Children's Purim Carnival begins at 9:30, and the children's spiel is at 10:45. We cap off our Purim celebration with the much-anticipated adult spiel, No Haman, No Cry, on Wednesday, March 20th. Come laugh your way through the scroll of Esther and see your rabbis and cantors let their hair down, then party the night away with the Foster Brooks Band. Wine and cheese is at 7, followed the spiel at 7:30. It's all free, and it is open to the community. Come in casual dress or wear a costume, adults only. Complimentary babysitting is available for children over 2 with advanced registration. I see you're still here. That's very good. So for further information on any of these events, visit the Temple website, look at the table outside for flyers. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the Executive Committee, I wish you Shabbat Shalom. See you at the Oneg.
We're We're going to continue our service on page 189 with the Aleinu, and I'd like to invite to come up any youngsters who are here or any young people who used to run up to the bima when they were here as part of the temple family. So if you used to run up, come on up as we rise for the Aleinu on page 189.
Please be seated. Rabbi Loss gave Danny candy for everyone, so if you find Danny after the service, he'll distribute pieces of candy to everybody. So we go from moments of celebration like that to a moment of memory as we mention the names of those who have died in recent days and in past days of our congregational family. First, those in the period of Shloshim: Lorraine Alcon, Rena Anstandig, Stanley Bass, Margaret Berlin, Inez Kane, Ellen DeMarais, Marilyn Epstein, Selma Feldman, Thelma Kahn, Barry Callan, Luis Lazarus, Kenneth Lynn, Arnie Olenek, Shirley Potnick, Dr. Lowell Ressler, Joshua Rott, Avery Shapiro, Norman Stern, Lisa Wade, Carrie Weitzman, Ingrid Wolf, Sam Zaks, Donna Zatkin. We also mention the Yartzites of Jack Achtman, Joseph Baghdad, Molly Maggie Berman, Pauline Berman, Morris Gelfand, Samuel E. Gottlieb, Sam Carbel, Paul Carbel, Sarah Rand, Leopold Rhine, Dr. Frederick Rivkin, Gloria Perry Rivkin, Mark Robinson, Beth Ruskin, Esther Scher, M. Robert Syme, a rabbi of blessed memory, Betty Weiss, Stephen Zach, Julius Cohen, Alvin Dunn, Gloria Dunn, Samuel B. Foreman, Joseph Mandel, Joseph Slame, Lester Friedman, Helen Broadwin, Evan Remsen, Alex Scher, Dora Brickman, Nathan Brickman, Isabel Rich, Gloria Woolman, Harold Goldsmith, Frederick Joel Bensman, Lorraine Cohn, Sandra Huss, and Betty S. Feldman. We remember them all and honor their memories. As we turn to page 199, we rise and join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam yolmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei d'Kedusha b'richu, le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. May God send peace and comfort to all of us, and together let us say, Amen.
Page 201. one, Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yisir Nivra, Lehet Nasa, Lechevzo Kol, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra, Ve'acharei Kichlot Apo, V'va'ado Yimloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hover, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara. Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yisir Nivra, Lehet Nasa, Lechevzo Kol, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra. Ve'acharei Kichlot Apo, V'va'ado Yimloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hover, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara. Ve'hu echad, ve'ein sheni, ve'hamshi lo le'achbira, ve'li reshi, ve'li tachti, ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamisra. Ve'hu eli, ve'hai go'ali, ve'tzur chevli, ve'etzara, ve'hu nisi, u'manos li, ve'nakosi ve'yom ekra. Adon Olam Asher Malach, B'terem Kol Yisir Nivra, Lehet Nasa, Lechevzo Kol, Asai Melech Shemo Nikra. Ve'acharei Kichlot Apo, V'va'ado Yimloch Nora, Ve'hu Haya, Ve'hu Hover, Ve'hu Yeh B'tifara. Ve'yado Avkid Ruchi, Ve'et Yisha Ve'ayira, Ve'im Ruchi, Yeviati, Adonai Ve'lo Ira. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. Shabbat Shalom.